Welcome back to the channel. I hope you're all keeping well. This is another edition of Spurs Around the World, where we'll be hearing from international fans talking about our great win on Saturday lunchtime at Tottenham Hotspur 4, West Ham United 1.
Hi Chris, hello fellow Spurs supporters. My name is Nadi Abbas. I'm from Jakarta, Indonesia. I'm part of a sports group called Indo Spurs, short for Indonesian Spurs. And my take on yesterday's game versus West Ham. Early kickoff, so we had a great opportunity to establish ourselves after a 2-week break where we lost the last game, of course. We were all feeling a bit bitter about that. I felt confident that we could get back onto the right track, and so it proved, even though we went behind early on. I thought it was early in the game we could easily get back into it, but it was a crucial couple of changes by Ange, and now that we've got everybody back, Sonny, Richie, we've got options off the bench that previously we didn't have. And I thought it was very important that we converted our chances. Brendan Johnson had great chances, just wasn't to be. But Kulu really forced it in, played a really important role in the centre of the park. And the switch to have Maddison come off and Bissouma come on and Sarr as well proved turning points in the game, and we had this very quick blast which I missed because I was watching the game at home, then I went to go and pick up my son as they were watching it in a bar in town, and in about 15-20 minutes of the second half 1-0 down to 4-1 up. It's fantastic. And to cap it off, Arsenal losing. So that's my take. Thank you.
Hey Chris, Terry from New York, checking in after the West Ham game. So today was a good day. Not only did we wake up to a dominant Spurs performance, then Arsenal lost at Bournemouth, and then my son's team won 6-0. So pretty much a perfect football day. So I have two key takeaways from the game. One, Ange's halftime substitution of Sarr for Maddison was a bold move, especially given the fact that Maddison actually had a really good first half. I can't help but think a small piece of it was a reaction to the criticism he received, rightly so, for the lack of response in the Brighton game. But in the end, it turned out to be a masterstroke, and I really applaud Ange for the conviction. My second takeaway is that our success this season really seems to be tied to how our six is playing. So if you think about Brentford and Man U, Bentancur was fantastic. Against Brighton, he was really poor. Today, Bissouma was great, both on and off the ball, and I think the team really benefited as a whole. A special shout out to the front three. Son looked like a rejuvenated man, and really when Son's smiling, everyone seems to be smiling. Solanke and Brennan, even though they didn't score, they were super bright, energetic, and they were constantly threatening. My man of the match, man of the season thus far, Kulusevski, without a doubt. So my worry, like everyone else, is that our defense continues to shut off at times. But at this point, I'm almost resigned to the fact that this is just our Tottenham, and we're just going to have to outscore our opponents every game. Overall, a lot to be optimistic about. This is just the response that we needed. And we still aren't living up to our underlying numbers, which means there's a lot of hope for more results like this in the future. On to AZ Alkmaar. Come on, you Spurs.
Hi everyone, here Eduardo from Spain, back again. the first thing that I think we have to talk is like Kulusevski is amazing, and is this his best state of form since he arrived to the team? Is better than he played with Conte, and I think yes. I think he's playing better than with Conte. Probably it's the best Kulusevski that we have ever seen in a lily white shirt. By the other side, all the attack line, great, very well played. Maybe, yeah, our central striker could be better, but in general it was great in all defensive aspects. Bissouma was great. He's back in his best fit, probably. I hope this is not just one great match and the next terrible. That's sometimes what we see from him. I hope that he repeats this next week and the next to show us and the world the kind of player that he is. And apart from that, the typical misconcentrations in the defensive line, that's but Bowen did play very well, so it was quite difficult to defend him. So I accept that. And so much credit for Postecoglou. I would have taken out Madison, especially to put in the field Sar, but it worked extremely well. So broke all the Lopetegui's line, not Spanish codes. So enormous, and we have to remember that Lopetegui is a great manager. Even and West Ham has a great budget this summer. So great for us. Even they are not playing well, very well. Now, Europa League.
Hi Chris, Trent here from Sydney, Australia. I'm a huge Tottenham fan since being a young boy. I'm a huge Ange Postecoglou fan, so for me, this is the perfect marriage for me, and I'm in football Disneyland, especially after last night's huge result. And what a result it was last night. Not only the scoreline, but the way we played and the attacking intent and the ballsy tactical calls from the sideline. I think it just perfectly encapsulated where we are with this project as a club and a team. This season so far, it's been an interesting one. I've probably been a little bit confused and bemused from a certain section of the fan base in questioning where we're going with Ange. I think Ange's football philosophy is so perfectly aligned with our philosophy as a club that it's a marriage made in heaven, and I think there's a little bit of bemusement from my side trying to sort of understand why people would be questioning what he's doing when what we're seeing on the park would suggest that we're on a path to Disneyland, so to speak. I think last night's result just gave us the perfect little package of where we can be. If all this, if we all support Ange, by that I mean all of us as supporters, the club, and let's give him as much money and as much support as he needs to take this project into the stratosphere, because I think this is going to be one hell of a ride. Just on last night, finally, I think Kulu, for me, one of the top players in the league this year. Watching him is just so enjoyable at the moment. Just attacking intent, physical, strong, just beautiful to watch. Sonny back last night, that was unbelievable as well. Just seeing him take on players, and that fourth goal was just a pleasure to watch. And getting back, winding back the years with the old Sonny that we all know and love. I think the halftime call was a perfect microcosmic example of Ange as a leader and what he's about. He does things differently. He's told us many times, but at halftime, I can't deny that I wasn't sort of scratching my head a bit, trying to work out what's going on with Madison when we all were, told it was a tactical substitution and not injury related. And I think that perfectly encapsulates Ange. He does things differently. Then it comes off and we all look at ourselves and say, well, why didn't I see that? Because it was perfectly logical after 15, 20 minutes into that second half to see why he made that substitution, but no one other than Ange Postecoglou saw it. So, yeah, great night. Still buzzing. I'm going to be buzzing all the way up until our game next weekend. And yeah, go you Spurs.
Hey Chris, just Shy here from Perth, Oz Spurs, Australia Spurs supporters group. Thanks so much for having me on again. So yeah, just a couple of thoughts on the game. Obviously it didn't start too well. Look, I believe when we got 1-0 down we tend to play better. But obviously it's not ideal, you kind of don't want to have to do that every week. But yeah, I think the response was fantastic. I think we kind of epitomised exactly what Ange once said. When we get 1, we get 2, we get 3, we keep pushing and getting more and more, and not just sitting back on. I think in the past we might have gone 2-1, 3-1 up, sat deep, maybe conceded a goal in, you know, the 85th minute, and it went back to the Wolves. But I think we just kept pushing, and I think genuinely first time in a long time actually felt confident at like 4-1 up. I'm like, we're gonna see this through. Like, we're okay. Obviously the incident with Kudus and that, which just don't understand referees sometimes still. It was such an obvious red card, why'd you have to go look at the screen? But at least they did. But yeah, I think that the form of Kulusevski is fantastic. Shame that Johnson didn't get 7 and 7. That would have been lovely. But as Ange said, I think that, you know, we're scoring for the midfield, which is really positive. And yeah, I just find Ange, continue to find him a breath of fresh air. I know not everyone gets behind him, and that's okay, but coming from Australia as well, I just think he's honest. You know, he mentioned about the Spursy tagline before the game, and if, you know, if he wasn't here to try and get rid of it, then he's stealing a living, which is so different to Conte, who basically turned around and said, I'm better than the club, I can't change this. So yeah, but anyway, keep up the great work and onwards and upwards to the next one. And yeah, come on you Spurs from Australia.
Hey Chris, Linton here from Durban, South Africa. Another victory yesterday, and great to record a victory over the Hammers. Always satisfying to get a win over them. It was a really good game, especially in the second half, and I think at halftime, I think the score was a fair reflection of the game. And then I was confused when Ange took matters off and brought Pap Matasar on. But as the game unfolded in the second half, the change did make sense as he pushed Kulusevski further up the field, who deservedly got man of the match, had an incredible game and a really strong influence on the final result. Really, really played well, and I think that position suits him perfectly. And as the goals went in, it was an incredible 7 minutes as one goal went in, the second goal, then the third goal, and you're just hoping for more, and it was wonderful to see. So all in all, a good victory by the boys, and we just hope to get a good victory over Palace, and in the week, of course, we play AZ Alkmaar, so we're just hoping for more wins. And onward and upward we go. Come on, you Spurs.
Thanks for watching and thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed it. If you would like to appear on the next episode, please do email me, tottenhamfanchris@gmail.com. It would be great to hear your thoughts on a future game. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you on the next one. Come on, you Spurs.